Alright, we got another one. This is a Troy-Bilt trimmer. The model is TB22. Manufacturer, let's see. We got 25cc. Date of manufacture was 2016, so it's got a couple years on it. It's a two-piece style. Has the easy disconnect pieces on it. The one that came with it is the curve shaft. I took it off just so it fits on the bench better, but the good thing about this, I think I have a straight shaft that'll fit this. Now the bad part is, the guy that had it, he sold it dirt cheap. He didn't know anything about it, and it's one of those deals. They buys auction units, gets the stuff, resells it, make a little money off of it. But the good thing is, well, in his ad, he has in there that he sells everything cheap, just to make it cheaper for everybody else. So according to him, he's not out to make a ton of money off of everything. But we got this thing like dirt cheap, and so we'll take a look at it. So naturally, no one knows anything about it because it came out of a storage unit. Don't know how long it's been in there. Obviously don't know how long it's been since it's been ran. But all in all, it's not that bad a shape appearance wise. Fairly clean, and it looks complete, surprisingly enough. Let's turn over. It's one of the first things I've done when I picked it up. Nice and stiff. It's like brand new. It actually has a air filter on it. Surprise! It's, I don't know. Never know. Maybe they took good care of it. The filter is actually really clean. So we'll take a look at everything. See what we got here. Hopefully it runs. Still has the hold in it for the cap. Whew, man, it's definitely been a while since it's been started. It smells like varnish. Fuel filter's in it. Alright, man, that thing stinks. Now, being a Troy-Bilt, hopefully it'll run. So we got for carb, everything's hooked up, throttle's working. Primer seems to be working, don't see no obvious cracks. Ooh, looks like I still got a little bit of crap gas in it. Fuel lines. Well, that one's broke. That one actually feels like it's spinning inside the tank. Sure enough. So some fuel lines are definitely in the works. Let's see what else. I guess we can make sure we got spark before we do anything. Oh, that sucker's on there. Yeah, the plug is rusted. Let's see if the tool fit. Too small. Well, let's see. Should have a socket here somewhere. Hopefully. So this is finished. It's just a touch too small. That kind of oddball size that is, but okay. 16 is too big. Guess I should have been more prepared, huh? Oh, let's try this one. Too small. Well, it is definitely an oddball size. Must be like a 16 millimeter or something. What did I do with that socket? Great. This is why you should stay organized. Oh, look at that. 5 of them, not one of them fitted. Alright, oh, here we go. I think this is it. Yep. Oh, good old 5/8. Bad part is I broke my socket, so let's see if we can get her out like this. Come on. Oh man. Wow. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. But there is, let me see if I can get some light on that. This is crazy. This thing's definitely been sitting for a while. Get some light on it here so you can see it. Hopefully see it. You guys probably can't see that, but it looks like freaking tar is on this plug. So, yeah, the threads are the same way, but the cylinder don't look terribly bad. Alright, wish I could get you a better picture of that. So, let's see if we got some fire. That is a hot mess. Here, let me show you. See if I can get some of that off. Now, this is just the base right here at the top of the threads. You still can't tell that good, but that stuff is, whew, man, seen better days. Alright, let's see what we got. Man, this stuff's all over this plug. Let's try this. I can't tell. Hopefully we got a spark. Oh. Try a little better plug. Oh, yeah, put it on. Should have put it in the vise to hold it. And I'm pretty sure it's sparking. Good enough for us to try it anyway. So, the thing is, so we try to shoot a little something in that carb just to make sure. See what we got. Alright, let's see if I'll find some. Try to find some 2-cycle. We'll drop some down in that carb before we replace the fuel lines and make sure this thing actually runs. Now here we go. Moment of truth, I guess. Oh. Give it a shot. Hope it comes to life. Hoping it runs. That should be more than enough. My squirt bottle broke, so it's kind of what I'm down to. Time I get to the store. We're on. Give her some choke. Just a second. Probably should have cleaned that ball out. Oh, it hit. Well, we know it runs. So since it runs, it's fuel line time. Put this back in there so it doesn't get everywhere. Hopefully we'll come on. Hopefully I have line in a filter. Filter I definitely have. Let's see. So we definitely need lines. It's the one that gets you in there. Is the, oh, there we go. Oh. That one's definitely broke. So this one's broke. That is our, that runs off the purge ball to return to the tank. It's our main fuel line. You can see where it's definitely loose in the plastic. Yeah, you probably can't see on. Yeah, you can kind of see down in there. You can see the line, but so the whole thing's twisting, so it has no grip. So the problem you're going to run into is if I put gas in this, is as you're using it and it's vibrating where that main fuel line, this one will leak for sure, but this one, even if this one was tight, where all your vibrations from where you're using it up here around the top, it will leak. All the vibrations and the pressure, gas will come up around that line, so it definitely needs replaced. So hopefully I have the right size line. Let's just cut that. Hopefully, let's see. So we got a small pair, but I don't want to drag it out any longer than I have to for you guys. Alright, get that in there. Yep, straight out. Man, it smells like straight freaking paint thinner. As you can see, one thing, the filter doesn't have a whole bunch of crud on it, so it takes care of that. And I do not see, these usually have a piece on the inside to keep them from popping out, but I don't see one in there for this one. So we'll just extend the line down, let the line hang down maybe an inch, if that, half inch, just to keep it tight. So let's take a little look here and see what we got. Hopefully these will pop right off, but I doubt it. Hoping, yeah, that one came straight off. I'm hoping the inside of that carb is not all gummed up. That looks like it'll fit. Looks the right size diameter. So hopefully that's what I got. So I'm hoping that'll work, and it's definitely long enough for both pieces, but I'm hoping it's the right diameter. Oh yeah, that one don't look good. This is where, if you're not sure, if you're going to route them right, as far as hooking up the carb to the, the main fuel line to the main line and the primer to the primer, take a picture of it. Save yourself some aggravation. There we go. It's still a little flexible, but it's definitely broke. So you take tongue-tied. Take a picture of it so you know what port's what. If you're afraid you're going to get confused, generally where your primer is, the one coming off of it is your return line. So, not saying it's foolproof and all that, but generally, and a lot of times you'll get it. This one is, yeah, they're the same size, it looks like, so we're good there. So then you got to figure out the farthest one in is generally the one you want to do first. Like with this one, it's the main fuel line is the farthest one in, so you want to do it first so you don't do the front one. Then you got to fight with it to get around it to do the back one, so you just want to do the back one first. At least that's how I do it. So of course our line, hopefully it's the right size diameter. It's really, really close. So we'll cut at an angle. And I'll put these on. There's a ton of videos out there for you guys to see how to do these, but this is how I do it. I put them at an angle, then we'll put a 2-cycle on it, feed it down through the hole. Once it gets through, you get it started, grab a hold of it, draw it in. So I'm not going to bore you guys with that. I'll get the fuel line set up, get a new fuel filter on it, and we'll go from there. I'll see you here in a minute. This usually does not take long. I just don't want to bore you guys with it because it's a simple process. Alright, so I got the fuel lines hooked up. So one thing I am going to do is the primer. So it's got some old fuel sitting in it. So it's backing the screws off a little bit. Yeah, it dripped out, so I want to try. There we go. It's going. We'll get some of that old fuel out of there. There we go. So hopefully we get lucky and all that tarnish doesn't have the carburetor all gummed up. If it does, most likely it'll just need cleaned real good. But hopefully we'll get lucky and not have to worry about it. The tank itself is pretty much empty. It had a little bit of dampness in it and it stunk really bad, but and that stuff does stink. Alright, so everything's hooked up. Try our primer. Yeah. Alright, it's pulling up like it should. No leaks. Alright, so what I'm going to do is throw the end back on, take it outside, see what happens. Alright, moment of truth. This is our storage unit, Troy-Bilt. So we got air filter still good, placed both lines, put a new fuel filter on it, and currently don't have any 2-cycle, but I had enough in my chainsaw to throw in it to see if it'll run. So I throw the choke on. No way. Try 2. So, we'll let it run a little bit. I don't know how long it's been setting. I'm going to let it run for a minute. See if it works the bugs out. Alright, we're having some technical difficulties. It's running itself out of fuel. Like the carburetor is actually gummed up. So, that blows, man. Like I say, let's take a peek. See what we got. My guess is it's full of varnish. Best guess anyway. Make it as quick as I can here for you. It's was idling at first, straight died. You look at it, it's not pulling fuel up, stalling itself out. So brand new fuel filter. So I hate to think something's wrong with it. First, we'll take a look at the top of the carb. Make sure it's nothing stupid like the screen is plugged up. Here's a helpful tip. Undo the fuel cap. It'll keep the pressure from pushing the fuel up through the line. So hopefully it's something simple. Can we actually get that lucky? I doubt it. Man. Alright, let's have a little peeky peek. Well, it's got a little bit of stuff in it, but nothing crazy. Should have brought a rag. Actually, I think that might just be rust. Yeah, it's not dirty. I think it's just rust. It's not enough to plug it up. I think we might just need, I guess it could be the diaphragm in the bottom. Crap. We'll see. These things are usually generally pretty easy to figure out. It usually doesn't take much. straight? No, we're not. Don't rush it. That's exactly what happened here. You rush it, you screw up. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Loose screws. Lose the primer. We're losing everything. Actually, it may need a new one. Might replace that one just for GP. Alright, let's get that screw tightened up. I'll find the other one. Trust me, this is not as bad as I'm making it look. Alright, where did the screw go? Okay. That's why you don't rush. Oh, fella. Oh, yay. Alright. Nope, there it is. Alright, we're back in business. So I just might go back downstairs. Oh my. Trust me, it's not that bad. I'm just trying not to drag it out for you guys. Alright, let's take a look at the bottom. Diaphragm, maybe. Stuck needle. Keep this up, we're gonna have the biggest problem is gonna be no fuel. But at least we got fire and it tried to run, so we're definitely a step in the right direction. Saying even if carb kits for these are dirt cheap, so don't be afraid to go that route. Here we go, trying to bust that gasket. Now, not exactly collapsed. At the same time, it's definitely not the world's best. It's nice and crunchy. It should be enough for us to get an idle out of it. Make sure the needle's moving. Yep. So it's looking like we probably just need a good carb clean here. Yeah, I'm thinking it needs a kit. Definitely so. Setting. In that storage unit, I don't know, who knows how long. Definitely did not do it any favors. But, that's how it goes. People get down on their luck, they don't have a choice, Been there, done that. They're nice. That's why you always run them. When you're done with them, run the gas out of them. Run them until they stall. Gas out of the tank, gas out of the lines. Fire it up, make sure it won't start before you set it up for the winter. But I'm about positive it just needs a carb kit. Okay, get this dude back on. I don't think pretty sure I used the last diaphragm I had on the last video we done, but it's, you know, we'll see what happens here. I'll have to go down, rummage around, and see what I got. But I think this trimmer's issue is definitely carb problems, without a doubt. If it runs, we just have issue with getting gas up through the system. Yeah, it's trying. Man, is it trying. Alright, let's try again. Sitting there idling, you guys probably can't see, but the ball is not filling up with fuel. So it's probably taking everything this thing has to sit here and run. You hit that throttle and it's probably going to stall out. Well, maybe not. Yep, there it is. So it's not getting fuel up like it should. I think it's just the inside channels of this thing. It's just all gummed up from sitting with old fuel in it. So it needs clean. What this thing needs, and I don't have one, is a sonic cleaner. Take it apart, throw it in a sonic cleaner, let it cook, take it back out, throw new gaskets on it, and I guarantee this thing run like a top. So without a sonic cleaner, I'm kind of limited on what I can do with it. I was hoping just letting it sit here and run would do the trick, but thinking that diaphragm's too far gone. It's definitely having a issue with drawing fuel. Yeah, it's the ball. It's not wanting to. It's trying, but not enough. Alright, so I'm going to drag it back down in the basement and see what I have carburetor parts wise, and maybe we can jimmy rig something together. This thing, it really wants to run, but it's definitely a carb issue, and I'm telling you, sonic cleaner is the way to go. Alright, let's drag it back down. Alright, good news and bad news. Good news is we know it runs, that's for sure. Shaft works, the head was spinning. I mean, it'll idle, it'll sit there and run. Bad news is the carburetor needs a kit. So, looking online, surfing through the mighty jungle to see what it's going to take, and it was $12.98 for a gasket kit. Search on down, and let's see if I still have it on my phone. You get a whole kit for anywhere from, depending on what brand you prefer, so we'll go with that. So anywhere from $11 up to $50 for a whole brand new carburetor kit. And the brand I generally use, some of the stuff where it's older, it makes it hard for me to get it from them. I use the HIPAA products, and I've always had good luck with them. So it's just like personal preference, you know. So it kind of depends on what you prefer, which I don't see one on here. There should be one on here for them guys, but for this model here, if they do have it, it's probably going to be $20 some. But it's like this one here. Here's one on eBay, $12.99. Never heard of the guys, but $12.99. That's for free shipping and brand new carburetor, gaskets, lines, yada yada yada. So it's, you know, it's personal preference what you want to do. As far as just try to clean it up, throw new gaskets in it, or if you just want to put a brand new carb in it. With the price of gaskets, I mean, it's easier for me to just buy a brand new carburetor setup. Like here's one here, $15.69, free delivery. Or here's a cheaper kit. Here's a cheaper gasket kit you can get. It's $8.03, and it's repair kit. So you could go that route if you want. It's right there. There you go. So it's like $8.03. You know, so it's kind of personal preference there. At the same time, it's $8.03 for a gasket kit. So then you got to take the time to clean your carb out real good. You know, get some. You could probably use like brake clean or something like that to clean it out real good. They do make little bristle brushes you can run through the ports and all that. But for me, it's easier just buy a carburetor, throw it on, hook the lines up, and rock and roll. So we'll do one or the other. So it'll take. I'll figure out which way to go, and then it'll take. Well, today's Sunday, so probably the quickest I can get it would probably be Tuesday. But we'll pick it up from there. I finally got our kit for the Troy-Bilt. So this one, there was a couple in there was a couple dollars cheaper than this one, but I went with this one not because it's a specific brand, just because of the one gasket that it came with. That little yellow one right there. All the other ones were about $1 cheaper for the other kits, but they didn't come. This one is actually rubber. I'll show you where it goes on there behind the carburetor on the plastic. But the other ones were about $2 cheaper, and it came with the same stuff. The only thing that was different was they came with instead of having the rubber one, they came with two different style paper gaskets instead. So I went ahead and went with this one so we could replace that. So let's get it off. See what we got going on here. So we already replaced the fuel lines and a fuel filter, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, so we'll zap that off there. Now you might want to, if you got fuel in the carb, this has a little bit, or in the tank, this one still has a little bit on it. So I'm going to crack the cap a little bit, just get some pressure off of it. It will. I've had it happen. Doesn't do it every time, but sometimes it'll. If you get up here and when you unhook your fuel lines, it'll cause the gas to dribble out on you sometimes. Alright, so we got two here. It's probably a T25 would be my guess. Yeah, T25 bit. Alright, choke lever. So there's the gasket. So that's the exact gasket that came with it. The other one was a little, I don't have one up here, more square looking. So I guess I probably should have hooked my lines first, but that's okay. I'll pop them loose real quick. Nothing to it. It's your primer. It's up top. Come on. Yeah, break that seal. So I hate to have to rerun it. There we go. So there's our main. 'Hook your throttle. So there's our old one. which kind of functioned. But here is the yellow gasket right there. So we'll pop that out of there. That's where a pick comes in handy. And the worst part about it, I just bought a set to work on something else, and I don't have them down here. Comes out pretty easy. I mean, odds are nothing's actually wrong with it, but yeah, why take the chance, right? You know, make sure nothing's in it. Looks good. And there we go. Everything's clean, so now it's just reverse procedure. Put your new carb on. And that one should be, I'll double check it just just to be sure. Yeah, so that's our primer. Main fuel line. Get our choke mechanism back on. Oop, oop, oop. It's gonna be all dirty. Make sure you're using a drill. Adjust your settings on there so you don't over torque it. These ones have the flathead slot in them, so you can just use that just to run them down. Tighten them by hand. Should be good to go. Came with a new air filter, so we'll throw that on. It actually came with a, I didn't need it, but it does come with the adjustment tool. And that filter, actually nothing's wrong with it, so let's go ahead and reuse it. And you know what, I put that on upside down. That's what you get for being in a hurry, right? It'd probably still work, but I'll put it on right. You'll have your instructions, if you need them, your instructions for starting it would actually be upside down. Should have left it like that and gave it to my son to start. There we go. Nothing to it but to do it. Cool. Done deal. It's that easy. As I say, if you buy the kit, it comes with, you know, everything you need to do a full swap. New carburetor, fuel lines, plug, filter, extra primer, gaskets. That one came with the rubber gasket, your adjustment tool, and this one was like $15 or something shipped. But that's the, if I could get it to focus on it, I doubt it. There we go. That's the kit for it. Picked it up on Amazon, of course. So the only thing left now is to see if this thing will run. It should. Can't run no worse than what it already did, but I'll throw the new plug in it and then we'll take it outside and get it fired up. Alright, let's hit it. See how lucky we got. Give it a prime up. Forgot we was low on fuel. This should be enough to make sure it runs. So we'll choke her out. We're on. Come on. There we go. So instead of going out and dropping a couple $100 on one, you can drop 20 into the one you got. It's not bad. So we got it. Seller thought it had issues, but I mean it had issues, but they couldn't get it to run at all, I believe. And but anyway, we put new carb on it, new lines, new filter. I went ahead and replaced that rubber gasket. So to get that gasket, it was like $2 difference. And carburetor kits and new plug and air filter and everything. So it's not bad. So I'm telling you, save yourself some money. Times are getting hard, man. Instead of going out and burning that credit card up and throwing $200 and some down on a new trimmer plus interest, you know, it's worth just fixing your old one. Granted, I'm not much. This one is the spool and everything works on it. It was spinning, but curve shafts always make my back hurt. But this one is one of the ones that have the multi adjustment. So I mean, you could swap that out, put a straight shaft on it, or I think they come with what, straight shafts, curve shafts, hedge trimmers, edgers. I mean, they make all kinds of stuff for these if you need to go that route. But that's it. It's a win, man. It's insane. Troy-Bilt 2-cycle TB22. This one was, I think, 2017. I think was the production date on this one. 2016. Date of manufacture 25cc. 2016 Troy-Bilt TB22. Alright guys, that's definitely a win. That'll make one of the neighborhood kids to get good use out of that this spring. As soon as the weather gets straight, you know, we're just going into winter now, so that comes spring, I'll get the gas out of it. It's the best way to do them the way I've always done it. Like this one will be getting stored now that it runs. Drain the gas out, fire it up, let it run all the fuel out of the system. I'll put it down in the garage with the other ones. Come spring, you know, we'll get them all fired up, make sure everything's working right, and then all the neighborhood kids around here, they get to go out and make themselves some money. I don't charge them nothing for them. It's, you know, my goodwill towards men, I guess is the way you want to put it. But you know, it's free if they need it to go out and make themselves some money. More power to them, because the way I see it, it keeps them out of the street, off, you know, out of trouble, on the straight and narrow. Hopefully, to the best of my knowledge, anyway. It's just how we've been doing it so far for the last couple of years, and it's been working great. So, no sense in stopping. Keep on going, right? So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and definitely a win, and hopefully that'll benefit someone this spring. All right, we'll catch you at the next one.